Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of our podcast called the Motorcycle Podcast, and we are back with another episode with myself, Saurabh.
And
And
Bharat,
मैंने कहा इंट्रोडक्शन दे दिया अगर अपना.
content writer हूँ इनके लिए.
हाँ, so in this week we are going to talk about EVs. Yes, EVs have come to India. EVs are here in India, and the market is growing a lot. So let's talk about EVs after this intro. So welcome back to our podcast episode. और आज के इस podcast episode में we're going to talk about EVs, electric vehicles, and their future in India, especially two-wheelers. EV से मतलब होता है, EVs basically क्या होता है कि it involves cars also, but we specifically going to talk about two-wheelers because I think cars से ज़्यादा इंडिया में two-wheelers आ चुके हैं, especially scooters.
Yeah.
And we've recently had an experience with an EV. So first, let's talk about EV future. So what do you think EVs का क्या future है इंडिया में और अभी क्या चल रहा है उस EV में?
I think so economically हमारे country में two wheelers का सबसे ज़्यादा बिकते हैं.
Yeah.
So in order to feed that two wheeler
The
demand,
largest market
हाँ, we are the largest market.
in terms of sales.
And in order to feed that two wheeler demand, we are giving out now two wheeler EVs, and it's working out really well. And it can
But do you think it will be able to मतलब चलो आप पहले बताओ, then we'll talk about it.
it can curtail the pollution aspect of our
pollution
job.
aspect की बात में नहीं,
हाँ.
मैं I was talking about the जो normal जो
Feasibility.
scooters होते हैं ना,
हाँ.
उसमें भी cost तो कम ही होती है. The cost is pretty मतलब normal,
See,
especially the fuel cost.
we can definitely not beat the combustion engine ka making price and the electric motor ka making price. That's just-
अच्छा, what do you think about the EV this thing in India right now? What is the situation? What do you think about?
See, first of all, we need to work on the infrastructure for developing
हाँ,
that electricity.
we'll
वाला
also
scene.
talk about it.
So, वही petrol
Do you
prices
think-
are high.
Do you think EVs
Right
are coming
now-
in? EVs will make an impact in India?
Yeah, definitely. There's a huge scope for EVs in India.
Okay.
Considering the fact that currently the fuel prices are really high, and right now whoever owns an EV is living cheap and living his best life, is what I feel, and it's a fact as well. So electricity कितना ही लेता है यार? It's not. You just give it a charge for the whole night and you're just through for the whole week.
So are you? So basically, there are a few companies in India, the major ones as well as newcomers.
Mostly startups.
Mostly startups, but then there are companies also doing. तो उनकी भी बात करते हैं. But let's talk about EVs first. So electric vehicles, of course, Indian government is pushing electric vehicles,
True,
especially
true.
because of the pollution.
We
So
have a
starting
goal
होना, I think,
as
pollution
well.
से.
We have a goal as well. By 2027, 30% of our vehicles should be EVs.
Yes.
That's our goal.
Yes, this
2027,
I think this
2030,
started. This
yeah.
started because of the pollution aspect first.
Yeah.
A lot of these, a lot of our cities are quite polluted, and they come in the polluted cities in the world. This is unfortunately this is there. This is the case.
Yeah.
So the push for EV technology started off. ठीक है? Initially, when it all began, we saw two companies which were there as EV companies, but and they tried to push it, but they were never fully there because EV technology was not developed at that point in time. If you remember,
Hero.
one was Hero Electric,
Yes.
which is there since long,
Uh-huh.
and one was I think Mahindra, who no, not Mahindra.
Mahindra developed a car.
Mahindra developed car. Yes, Mahindra. Reva.
Yeah.
So initially there were these two companies. They had a few vehicles, ठीक है? And they were trying to promote EV this thing in India, but it was not very visible at that point of time. And then what happened? I think 4 or 5 years back, when Tesla came into the in the picture internationally. So Tesla की of course cars are there, and their cars की जो sale है, they started to go momentum, उनका momentum बनने लगा, they started to gain momentum in the West, कि भाई ये कार आई है, this is a nice well built car, जो आपको अच्छी mileage दे सकती है, and you can actually use this car
They
daily
actually
basis.
made the production look so easy.
Yes.
They made the manufacturing so easy that it was so much approachable by all other manufacturers.
Yeah. So then I think a lot of these bike manufacturers and
EVs were already there.
EVs
EVs
was-
existed.
So I'm just so I'll give you a fun fact about EVs. So initially, when car technology first started in the beginning of 19th century, the first few cars were battery powered,
Yeah.
and then some reason वो बंद हो गई, and then we shifted to this combustion engine technology, and then everything shifted to combustion engine.
Some reason can be the weight and the range.
And the range also, and the easy availability of fossil fuels and all.
Fossil fuels. Yeah.
So, but EVs made a comeback because 2000 में pollution बढ़ने लगा, and people started to realize कि ये जो यूरो जो standards हैं, जो pollution standards हैं, उससे भी ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ा. It's there,
But
it's not
not
making
that effective.
it's not being that effective. It's not being that effective.
We have been developing our battery technology so much more that we fail to recognize whether it can be used for EVs or not.
Yes, because
Then
batteries
later
are
on,
available.
some enthusiasts
Yeah.
did this thing. Okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
battery tech. Actually, you're right. Actually, in this thing, you're right, because battery technology was already there
And we were
in
not,
other things,
yeah,
but it was not there
even
in
in
vehicles.
cars, like
Yes.
everything, your radio runs with a battery
Yes,
only.
it was
So,
there.
We were not using that battery as
To
a
run the
fuel
car.
as a fuel to run the car. However, later on, enthusiasts tried to do that. They just packed batteries full of in a empty car, and they started running it. Even in engineering colleges, you make cars which are electric cars only
Yeah.
these days.
So suddenly, 5 years
The
पहले,
hype increased.
5 years पहले, the hype increased. A lot of manufacturers started to come. We saw investments made from made by TVS, made by Hero MotoCorp, made by Bajaj. They all of them wanted to come suddenly, and then we saw emergence of new companies such as Yulu, such as Ather, right? And then we started to see much more and more startups coming up with this technology.
Refined startups, I would say.
Refined startups also, funded startups also, and they started to develop these. Now they have started to develop vehicles because, in fact, I mean, the last Auto Expo that happened before the lockdown in 2020, we went to the Auto Expo. At that point of time, there was the threat of COVID was not there that much. Because a lot of these companies, because of COVID, they did not come.
Yeah.
Most of the companies that were there, especially Indian ones, were mostly EV companies. And there were new companies. We heard of a lot of new names like Evolet Motors or Evo Ride Motors.
Yeah.
And then there was Kabira Mobility.
KM, yeah.
KM. So a lot of these companies were there, and they wanted to showcase their vehicle and their technology for the future. And we would have heard from them a lot अगर बीच में COVID नहीं आता तो now they are starting to show us.
But I think these bikes were already there in 2019 in itself.
Yeah, they were there. They were there.
Ather was there in 2019.
No, they were there, but their vehicles were very amateurish at that point of time. They had two vehicles. In fact, they started off with two vehicles, but eventually they had to remove one vehicle from it, from the range. And they wanted to keep the first vehicle very basic, because that basic vehicle initially is expensive. We'll talk about the cost. But so they wanted to keep it as simple as possible, and they wanted to first develop the infrastructure. Actually, initially, जब ये EV companies आई थी, they started developing vehicles, right? They forgot that in Europe and in the West,
they had the infrastructure.
No, why did Tesla succeed, especially in Europe? Because they started installing those charging stations well before these cars came along, because they knew that these companies were coming. So to promote this and to reduce the pollution, the government and the private companies together formed an infrastructure. They installed these charging stations beforehand, so that when the first Tesla came, the technology, the infrastructure was already there in that country. And then these companies came and they started producing models, and they sold out.
I
Tesla
think
sold
it
out.
wasn't like that per se. You're right that it came before the launch of Tesla in like the European countries, but the thing is that they had infrastructure of such fashion that it can be easily installed. You
Yes.
never had to look for places. Okay, where can we install?
Yes.
They
That was also
already
there.
had
That
like
was also there but that is there because their cities are planned. So
planned
that is why
very
it's
well
there.
planned.
Yeah, it's there. But now, initially in India, a lot of these companies, when they came with their vehicles, they hurried up and they made a few vehicles. At least in 2017 and 2018, there were vehicles by these companies. They wanted to bring those vehicles, but they stopped. I think at that point in time because they thought because there was no infrastructure as such. Bangalore had a few electric charging points,
Points.
and but there was no infrastructure. So I think they hurried up a little bit, and now they've stopped. And what they've realized is companies like Ather, ki let us bring let us bring the infrastructure first, and then we can focus on getting these vehicles in.
I think that you're wrong in this fact is because Hero जब launch हुआ था ना इंडिया में Hero ने Hero and even the Mahindra Reva those cars when they came their idea was not based on the infrastructure. Their idea was based on the fact that it can only be used inside a city and can only be charged at your home. It was not for long distance travel.
Yeah, I know
Their
that.
range was less than 100 kilometers, I think.
But
So-
वही मैं बता रहा था इनिशियली यू आर राइट कि वो पहले सिर्फ होम चार्जिंग की पर्पज से बनी
And ये
थी.
जो Kabir Motors and other
Kabira-
young
Kabira
Kabira
Mobility.
mobility, sorry. And Ather also. Ather was well aimed for the infrastructure phase
No,
of it.
because what they
But-
thought was in the 2015 when this technology re-emerged with the success of Tesla, especially in the Western markets. So first, of course, there was a home charger, and home charging units would be there, which you can install also.
Yeah.
If you link,
Hardly 4 to 5 kilowatts of
4 to
charging.
5
Very
kilometers,
slow.
very slow.
Very slow.
But there the thought came about that if you want to develop and sell millions of these vehicles, and this would be our prime mode of transport in most countries, all countries, then we need to have a certain infrastructure outside your home as well, because if you're using these vehicles for riding purpose everywhere, then you require an infrastructure upgrade or infrastructure at all places. That is why right now I like the strategy of Ather. What Ather did was Ather introduced two vehicles in the beginning. They had to curtail one of their models. They removed that from the range. They just have one scooter now, and the rest of the money that they have, because they got funded in between, they are utilizing in developing infrastructure along with other companies, which can be, and this infrastructure is similar in a way that all, let's say this infrastructure, this grid is developed by Ather, but you can use it to charge any vehicle, any company's vehicle in that grid, and they want to develop it, and they want to add more stations, and they are making it free for now, so that the sales increase, and later on it can be charged. You can use it for a cost. Okay? And this technology is going to improve also, because there will be fast chargers.
Yeah.
Fast charging technology also is coming.
I think Tata is doing a lot in this fast charging.
So this strategy I like, because now we had spoken to Ather, so they said that Bangalore has a lot of charging stations now, and they have the most electric vehicles in India.
True.
And Bombay is getting there, and the western and the southern cities are getting there, but in the northern cities right now, Delhi NCR में थोड़ा बनना शुरू हुआ है अब.
Yeah.
Delhi
I
में
have seen
start.
a lot of charging stations.
Yes, so
in
Delhi में बनने शुरू हुए हैं. NCR में they're starting to install a lot of chargers. So I like this strategy now that the मैं सेकंड पॉइंट भी हमने बीच में डिस्कस कर ही
Delhi
लिया,
NCR ना?
तो मैंने सेकंड पॉइंट भी इसमें डाला था, शॉर्टेज ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, तो उसको भी हम डिस्कस कर ही रहे हैं अब इसी में, ईवी में, कि बिकॉज ऑफ द शॉर्टेज ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर companies like Bajaj, we had spoken to Bajaj also, so Bajaj has not brought their EV two-wheelers, especially in the north. Because of this lack of infrastructure, the EVs are not available.
The Chetak, right? Chetak EV.
The Chetak EV is not available in the north right now.
Yeah.
But they are also increasing the infrastructure so that they could bring and sell it immediately,
True.
quickly. Because these are expensive scooters. We
Yeah,
will talk
these are-
about the cost right now. But these are a bit expensive
Very
scooters.
expensive. What I was saying is that I think EVs in North India has become more than a choice, and it has become a necessity now. The transition from being a choice, I can choose an EV, to a necessity. I have to choose an EV because.
But do you think right now it's there? I
Yeah,
don't
it is
think it's
there. I think that traction, it has gained a lot right now. The traction of getting into EV is very, very necessary across here in Delhi NCR, because everybody, you and me, everyone is feeling that we live in a very toxic environment and gaining respiratory diseases every single day. We are seeing it. We are witnessing it. And for that, we need to do it. We need
The
to
infrastructure is necessary. Right now there's but jaldi बढ़ रहा है. I've seen it.
जल्दी बढ़ रहा है. काफी
And
जल्दी बढ़
especially in Bangalore, there is a lot of infrastructure. So they were telling us कि the highest amount of, we've sold a lot of EVs in Bangalore, and this is because of shared infrastructure. जैसे जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी आगे बढ़ेगी, you will be charging, और चार्ज के ऊपर कॉस्ट भी लगेगी. There will be a cost on charging, but you will be able to charge your vehicle in like 5 minutes or 2 minutes. इतना fast हो जाएगा.
I don't think like 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
No, because why? Because the
increasing the kilowatt hour. Yeah.
Yes, they are increasing they will be increasing the kilowatt in the grid, और वो grid में ना they'll be adding, they are developing some battery technology as well, जिसमें they'll be able to use it much more better, and उसको वो काफी fast भी कर देंगे. They'll be fast. We will discuss it.
It will be very interesting.
Very
to
interesting,
see
yes.
that two-wheelers being charged in like a couple of minutes or 5 minutes.
Couple of minutes and 5 minutes.
Because it's very small battery and you cannot charge that fast. There has to be some technology for it. But in cars it happens. Like we have heard cars that can charge at a rate of 100 kilowatt per hour. 100 or 120, which is very quick. Like you can get a 400-mile range in half an hour, I think.
So I like the way they are going, especially in India. ज़रूरत है. It's there. This is needed, and it's good that they are developing the infrastructure, because after a while, because of the pollution and all everything, you will be requiring EVs. EVs will be the future, and most of the companies now have recognized that you can make a decent EV in a decent cost. Cost के बात करेंगे. I think अभी तो expensive है, but
let's talk about subsidies also, na?
Like we can talk about this, but now let's talk about a few companies that we think that can go ठीक है in this technology. They're doing it right. अभी तो पता नहीं चलेगा exactly कि क्या कौन right कर रहा है, but we hope that all of these companies together can develop and can move forward and take this EV juggernaut आगे. ठीक है. Who do you think are the major companies right now, and who do you think could go far in this endeavor?
So, big companies like Hyundai, Mahindra,
car mein.
in car makers, and I think these car makers can only be able to develop a larger share of infrastructure because their marketplace is really high as compared to the two-wheeler market. And two-wheelers mein, of course, like Ola is a new one, and Hero.
We have a video on Ola, by the way. You can check it out.
I love that scooter. I really love that scooter.
Very good scooter.
Yeah.
But India में North में आया नहीं है वो, by the way.
But like I think there is an option. You can get it in.
No, you can get it, but it was not available for us to review.
Oh.
In North.
Oh.
अभी आया नहीं है.
Because like they stated that.
Again, वही infrastructure issue.
Infrastructural issue. Because I was also looking for purchasing that one, and अभी मैंने register किया है. Let's see.
So
Fingers
so Ola is a very good this thing, because they are aggressively building and manufacturing
and they
EVs.
have a huge very nice manufacturing unit, and they're making
देखा था मैंने. उसका
बहुत बढ़िया एकदम तेज बना रहे हैं सब कुछ, and it's very featureful as well. Like unlike combustion engine scooters, right? So Here you can get much higher features because it's completely entangled with a single circuit board. You can get all sorts of features. All sorts of
I like
features.
by the way I like Ather as well. मैंने अभी भी बात की है काफ़ी Ather की. I've talked about a lot, but the way they are going, the way the company is set up, the way they are being funded, and the way they are approaching this, making really nice scooters, I think they will go for further. They will be one of the companies to look out for.
Like, what other EV are you excited about
I
in
think
terms of two wheelers?
in terms of two wheelers, Evolet Motors is very good. I think it's a Rajasthan based company.
Okay.
They're building these interesting two wheelers, and hopefully they must have gotten funded right now because I don't remember. I met them in Auto Expo. Very good. Their view on EV was fantastic, and they wanted to go further. And hopefully, I think I will have a chat with them. But hopefully, they might have been funded now, and they might have. They might have been funded now, and they might have. अब उनको कुछ आगे भी बढ़ गए होंगे. We need to see कि वो कैसे आगे बढ़े हैं. And this is another company that I like. I like another company called. I like actually. We recently did a video with TVS as well. तो although TVS जो उनका जो अभी जो स्कूटर है iQube, it's not very
Finishing नहीं है. Like
not finishing. Finishing is very good. It's not very aerodynamic. Aerodynamic नहीं है, but काफी decent है. Elegant scooter है. It has everything, and it is a good start for them in terms of मतलब this EV technology, because I remember riding it, and अभी उसका review भी आने वाला है. It has a lot of modes. It has everything that you would expect from a two-wheeler. It has got this smart X Connect system as well. उनकी side में हाँ TVS की side, and it has got a lot of features. They have a very bright LCD screen और सब. It's very good scooter. I'm impressed कि TVS उसमें effort कर रहा है, and it's the only company right now, along with Hero MotoCorp, Hero Electric basically, which has a lot of scooters available everywhere in India to sell right now.
True.
Their distribution is very good.
Very good.
One of the best. So in terms of distribution, they are good. They are better than in fact Bajaj and Ather as well, because Bajaj also is first looking at infrastructure in the north. Then they are focused on bringing their scooter because theirs is a premium scooter, Chetak.
Yeah, Chetak is a very
So this is an expensive scooter. So what they want is कि थोड़ा सा infrastructure बढ़ जाए so that they can able to sell it more. So Bajaj can also make really good scooters because the technology base in Bajaj is excellent. Their R&D team is fantastic.
Yeah.
The only
Even
thing,
I was impressed with the build that they made. Chetak was a really nice launch.
scooter. Actually, we really want to review it. We're just hoping and waiting that it comes to North India so that we're able to review it. So I like Ather. I like the prospect of Bajaj and hopefully TVS also with their production capability. TVS actually has a very good production capability and their distribution capability. They would be able to get more models made and distribute it all over India at once. So I think in the future, TVS would be there. Ather would be one of the companies to look
What
out for.
I'm more excited about is this bike called Ultraviolet F77.
Yes, Ultraviolet
That
Motors.
has insane technology. Like, the technology is not same, it's
Who
EV, but
has-
the thing is that
there is some major company who has invested in Ultraviolet. I think it's either TVS or Hero MotoCorp. कोई इनमें से ही किसी ने किया है invest उसमें.
पता नहीं. But I believe that it is TVS because
I think it's TVS.
yeah, their battery technology is insane.
Yes.
You can remove the battery and it sits flush. And it has
Yes.
a very nice sporty stance.
Yes.
I really want to like...
Yeah. The
Right.
Ultraviolet is also really interesting.
The thing is that it got delayed. I think they were about to launch it before COVID times. Like between the COVID times and
But
COVID.
Ultraviolet was not there in Auto Expo.
They did not...
I think they were not there. So I think no, but there was this new ultraviolet which I saw. The newer version was there. I think in 2021.
They modified the previous version. They only have one bike.
They only have one.
They told that they'll be upgrading it for the 2021 iteration. So what happened was that the company CEO said that they'll be launching the bike in this December, which I'm not pretty sure they'll be able to, but they
वो तो पता लग जाएगा. But December तो almost half हो गया है. So I don't know. So they can. Abhi they have time. They can launch it now because of the market now is opening up again.
Yeah.
So they can launch it. But personally for me, I think once the infrastructure grows now, all these companies will develop newer models quickly, I think. And I think some companies might have an edge. The guys who already have big production facilities and with their distribution networks like TVS and Hero MotoCorp, I think they might have the edge. They have invested in a few companies as well. I think one of them has invested in Yulu as well. So you might see this competition heating up in probably like 2024 se.
I think it will be there. Everything will be there. Like all companies.
No, you'll see a lot more models.
A lot more models, and it will be more evident that we are using EVs.
And I think you'll see a lot more ads as well. Right now, जो भी EV आई है, whatever EVs have come, you have not seen a TV ad as of now. You have seen newspaper ads or digital ads, Ather के और Bajaj के, but you've not seen it TV. I think
there's a TV ad for Bajaj Chetak.
There is one Chetak, but it went away very quickly. But you will see more TV ads when they start to develop more models. I think you will see a much more aggressive approach.
I think they need to flaunt their technology. Yeah.
No, but you'll see it more, I think,
just for the
by second half of 2023 and 2024, you'll see a lot more of this coming up. And you'll see these brands developing newer models, I think.
What's your take on this fact that most of these companies have traditional internal combustion engine developing companies? They have taken this oath that they'll completely go electric by this particular time. So, like Mercedes has done it. Most of the German cars have done it. Car makers have done it.
But I think what will happen. This is the next point. What is the future? This is our next point. So let's discuss. Okay. So EVs are the future. Okay. There will be EV companies. There will be these major brands, cars, 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers, whatever. They will have EV based cars and bikes and vehicles, right? I don't think it'll be completely EV because they will have cleaner fuels available. They will have cleaner fuels. They would have a mix of EV and fuel hybrids. Right now अभी अच्छे से नहीं आई हैं. So you'll see more stress given on the EV part, but there will be a part which uses
fuel
like a 10th amount of what is being used right now, and that too a cleaner version of that fuel.
Don't you think that the production cost then will increase more?
No.
Yeah.
No. The production cost of this, because see, major would be EV. In every vehicle, the major technology would be EV. So I think if there will be more manufacturers of EV by parts or accessories, when there will be more manufacturers of these parts and accessories, I think the parts and accessories cost will come down a lot.
Okay.
And the service cost, there's another problem with the EV right now is, so the parts and the manufacturing cost is expensive, but अभी मैं उसमें बात करूँगा technology and cost में, but I'm just giving a brief this thing. The service is also very expensive right now
for
EV motors.
No,
because why I'm talking about, if the part gets damaged in an EV motor, what they've done is initially they have covered it for some time, but the problem is the back end is weak right now. The parts that so अभी मैं फ्यूचर की पहले बात कर लेता हूँ, just गिवन अ ब्रीफ आइडिया ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी एंड द कॉस्ट, मैं इसमें भी बताऊंगा. फ्यूचर में आई थिंक EVs would be the major source of this thing, power. And there'll be a bit of clean fuel as well. There'll be a mix.
I think that will be more evident in four-wheelers.
Four-wheelers also. I think two-wheelers also.
Two-wheelers, I don't think so. There's a point making.
Let's see, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce right now. What they have said is they will be EV, but they have not said that we'll let go of the fuel completely. But if they can manage like a tenth of fuel, a tenth of clean fuel, which includes a lot of जैसे octane, high octane fuel, जिसमें fuel इतना नहीं होता. There are other minerals as well to clean the fuel. Cleaning जो octane के अंदर जो होते हैं ना, octane fuel is a mix.
So we have a policy for that. I think bioethanol.
Yeah, it's there. But
they're mixing, so like whatever fuel that you get in your fuel pumps,
no, but either
has a certain
what I was
amount
trying
of
to tell you,
ethanol added.
so I was trying to tell you was कि वो fuel तो ठीक है. It's just that जब fuel actual fossil fuel का cleaner version आएगा ना, जिसमें fuel बहुत ही कम से कम use होता है, then
सर क्लीनर वर्जन में ही ये कर रहे हैं कि उसमें बायोफ्यूल्स
मिक्स कर रहे हैं. हाँ, you're right in that case. I know that biofuels मिक्स कर रहे हैं. तो उसी में उसको भी रखेंगे. They will have that, but the percentage would be really less. And some cases there will be no fuel. There will be completely EV. तो EV तो है ही dominating. It will dominate in the next 5 to 7 years. You'll see a lot of change in these bike technology, and hopefully the technology and the cost would get less. वही अब बात करते हैं वो जो मैं बता रहा था, the back end. So back end में there are very few अभी right now what they're doing is, because the cost is really high in सारे EV vehicles की. That is because for a vehicle to be produced in a lesser cost, you need people developing certain parts so that you get those parts for cheap cost. Okay. So those manufacturers right now not there, especially in the back end. They are learning about it. They're learning about this technology, and they're अब बन रही हैं ऐसी companies. There are companies coming up which are making different sorts of batteries as well as parts related to batteries, because I've noticed in the recent year.
The fact was that
no, but I've noticed one thing in the recent year. I was just looking through this. I was reading about EV and what is there, especially in Google. I noticed one thing. There's a lot of battery manufacturers now available, which were not there. They're specifically developing battery technology, not only for vehicles, but for other things as well.
Yeah.
So these type of companies would benefit EV companies in the future, I think.
When we were talking about the service cost, so like the idea why EVs are more approachable is because that lesser moving parts as compared to an internal combustion engine. That's why the servicing will come down to merely a few parts.
So I was talking
Like
about
brakes,
tires. I was talking about what you are talking about is correct, right? What you are talking about is the fact
longevity of that.
Yes. What I was talking about was कि once the part gets damaged and it moves out of warranty, ठीक है?
Okay.
There are lesser parts, ठीक है? In a EV, it's like a homogeneous vehicle, but I think if you go, because
traditionally for a motor, electric motor, the warranty lasts longer than a normal car.
So अभी तो right now to sell EVs, what they have done is you buy an EV, ठीक है, for 1/10 of a cost, then you can pay the rest of the cost as an installment, ठीक है, and what they have done is they have covered that service cost of that EV for free. Especially a few companies have done it for 3 years. So you are covered. And in fact, the infrastructure also, what they're doing right now is you can use that infrastructure for free. First, what they want is these people to buy EVs and forget about the rest of the cost.
Hmm.
You can just get a EV for a 1/10 of a cost and then आराम से pay करते रहो and then you use those facilities
Subscription based.
subscription based. And you
Ether uses the subscription based model.
a
no?
lot of these companies will come in subscription based
Subscription-based only.
models. It will be easier to make it popular.
Yeah. True.
To make EVs
I think to
popular.
start it off subscription based works, but I think that somewhere down the line it's more expensive than getting your own vehicle.
Yeah. Subscription based बाद में तो नहीं होगा.
हाँ.
नहीं बाद में once the industry settles down there you'll see a lot of changes. जैसे अभी normal two-wheeler industry में आते हैं. You'll see a lot of changes in the EV industry as well. You see changes in technology, cost, everything. And you'll see more and more manufacturers coming in battery technology, in other technologies related to EV. So that the EV companies can also use that technology. There will be, I think there will be companies will be only focused on EV infrastructure.
There are later, I mean, the latest.
I think होंगी कोई ना कोई. I don't
Tesla
know.
has developed one. I
No,
think.
no, no. EV जो सिर्फ EVs कई कंपनीज ऐसी भी होंगी I think
हाँ.
जो सिर्फ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे फोकस कर रही हैं. The ones who are only developing high fast chargers for these companies. I think they might
Tata.
be.
Tata
would
is
be
the
there.
only company that I think they are developing EVs as well. However, their charging stations are far more reachable than other stations because, like, I've seen in Jaguar ka showroom also. They have Jaguar has an EV. I think
Jaguar has an EV. Jaguar has an EV
Forgot the name of
vehicle.
it.
Yeah, e-vehicle. Yeah,
yeah,
they have.
a bigger SUV EV, and there I saw there outside their showroom there was a Tata stalled.
Okay. Because that Tata owns Jaguar, so I think probably.
Probably that might also be a reason, but I've seen in like generally also like
Okay.
Parking lots. They're also Tata only.
तो वो किसके देखे सबसे ज्यादा
Tata
के देखे
Maximum I've seen.
Because I saw Ather के मैप में they had a charging map. उसमें काफी सारे Ather के points भी थे and I think I saw one in nearby my place also. ठीक है in Noida. I think there was an Ather point also. तो ठीक है अभी के लिए तो it's
Those are like very. I mean, the power limit is very less.
very less. But right now at least what they have given is you can share it. ठीक है because अभी इतने हैं भी नहीं.
है भी नहीं.
Especially in the north region इतना नहीं भी है. But hopefully everything develops.
Talking about like the battery technology of the car. So like that's also very important point to note. Why? Because we are traditionally using lithium-ion batteries. Okay. But Tesla has moved on to a newer variant of a battery which can store charge for a
पहले
longer
जब
time.
when these battery technology came ना तो initially there was a documentary also made and
कि whether
lot
it is safe or not. To
yes
use.
safe or not and in fact जो pollution आप कार से रोक रहे हो that
वो
pollution
battery
is being
बनाने-
created by battery.
batteries, correct,
So
yeah.
they wanted कि जो batteries also to get better in terms of producing lesser pollution.
True.
So I think they are also developing newer batteries because I've seen a few companies who are focused on battery technology.
Yeah.
And in fact, there are a lot of Indian companies also. And I met these guys who were doing this newer version of a battery, which is like really less.
Tesla Roadster, I think.
No. They're an Indian company. They are based out of Bangalore. They are doing a battery which produces really less pollution.
M-Flux?
Enflux भी है. Enflux भी है.
हाँ.
There is another company. I forgot the name. I think they are not funded as of now. ठीक है. But this technology and the cost will come down eventually and it will be better technology. Even side technologies also would get better. And hopefully we would able to see a much better and cleaner looking these. Because मेरा भी एक्सपीरियंस जो रहा है अभी रिसेंट में राइडिंग दैट टीवीएस iQube was मैं ज़्यादा तो नहीं बताऊंगा बिकॉज इट विल बी देयर इन द चैनल बट it was an interesting experience in the sense कि there are a lot of potential in that
True.
in that scooter. I saw a lot of potential in that scooter when I rode it. I saw what we can do with this technology and what is the potential of this technology. And the good part was that we rode it just before I rode their Ntorq, which is a petrol-based scooter.
Oh, yeah.
So first I rode a petrol-based scooter, similar sort of petrol-based scooter. Then I rode an electric scooter. So I was able to compare it, ठीक है, and I was able to gauge the difference and what are the benefits of having an EV scooter,
than a
EV versus a regular petrol vehicle. So the technology is interesting, and it
It's
has
growing.
a lot
It's
of
growing,
no, it
and
has a lot of potential. I saw it as a lot of when I rode it, I felt मेरे कुछ positive thoughts थे उसके बारे में that I'll reveal in the video.
this is so easy.
It is easy, and there are a few things as well
Huh.
which can be explored further,
Huh.
and which can be taken to the next level. So this technology has a lot of potential, and once people and manufacturers start to develop this technology, you'll see a lot better and a lot more EV vehicles. तो इंडिया में तो ओवरऑल फ्यूचर अच्छा ही है. सो मेरा तो फाइनल थॉट यही है कि आई थिंक वंस the infrastructure and the technology starts to come in, all these companies, battery companies are coming in, I think it will get better, and you will see from 2024, I think you will see a lot more push towards EV,
Yeah.
because everywhere you will see, but in India also you'll see a lot more push towards EV. What is your final
Same. I think it's already there. It's just not well versed among the people, and I think people are being educated towards it. Ki, yeah, you should buy one. You can buy one. It's feasible. It's affordable, and the government is also helping to.
Yeah, the government is also
The fame subsidies
subsidies and all.
Yeah, so it's affordable at some cities as of now, like Ahmedabad, Delhi also has a
So
fame
in
subsidy.
some cities there are a lot more subsidies, and in some cities there are less subsidies.
Lesser subsidies,
But
but
it'll
maximum
grow.
you can get up to like 25 to 30K off for like in terms of Ola S1. Yeah, I thought I got this subsidy for Ola S1, and they are giving about 30K, 28K
Okay.
of the original price. So it's great. It's a good deal, and you can go for it.
So I think EVs are coming. They are great. If you want to buy right now, you'll have to spend a bit more than usual. But if you want to try it out, if you want something which is there, which is easily manageable, you can try it out. EVs are great. Of course, जो इसके आगे iterations आएंगे, they will be better, and they will be much more cheaper as well, I think. So try it out if you want to.
You can cover up your
just
sins.
because because Ather and all are all sold out.
Yeah.
Ather told us that their EVs are completely sold out. I don't have an extra scooter right now. So people are buying it, and with the infrastructure increasing, especially Ather ने अभी देख काफी infrastructure बढ़ा दिया, especially in Delhi. So hopefully as infrastructure increases, you'll see a lot more EVs, and my estimation, I think 2024, first few months of 2024, you'll see a lot more TV ads and much more push for all these EV vehicles. To watch out for them, it is great. And for our TVS iQube video, you can go to Motorcycle TV and check out our review video. It will be there in a few weeks' time. And we will be making more of these EV videos. So you can go and check it out. और हम कंपेयर भी कर लेंगे उनको, एंड यू विल सी कि इनका पोटेंशियल कितना है और ये आगे कितना आगे बढ़ सकते हैं. सो कीप ऑन वॉचिंग, कीप ऑन फॉलोइंग अस ऑन सोशल मीडिया, एंड इफ यू हैव सम क्वेश्चंस यू कैन मेंशन इट ऑन एनी ऐप and on our channel and on YouTube. So keep the questions coming. Also, I'll remind you of two things. We're there in every major network. We are now in Amazon Music, and we are available through Amazon Alexa. And the second thing is, all these discussions that we do, they are also available if you want to discuss EVs, if you want to discuss ADV, biking, any sort of topic. You can join us on Discord and our Reddit page. You can discuss a lot of things. We can answer a lot of things for you, and we can clear your doubts about EV, और कुछ भी आपको पूछना है, you can mention it in the comments. So till our next episode, I'm Saurabh and
Bharat signing out, guys. Bye.
signing out from this video. Bye.